Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Om Namo Bhairavaya Namo Namah. Om Namo Bhairavaya Swaha. Om ADYA Namaha. Jai Ma ADYA, Jai Ma Kali. So good morning, and we are back on yet another video. And today's subject is, it is difficult to put it into the right word and tell you what exactly properly summarizes what today's subject is. You know, the subject itself is the fifth head of Brahma that fell at the behest of Bhairava cutting it off after he emanates out of Mahadeva's third eye. And what it actually must truly mean, we go deeper and deeper into it to understand what is the path of Bhairava itself, why is it so different from the other paths, the other Vedic paths, while he is from a very, he emanates from a very powerful Vedic god, that is Mahadeva. The reason for his emanation is none other than Yoga Maya, the trick that she plays on the fifth head of Brahma. Or is it a trick, or is it the design itself? Why did Brahma lose the fifth head? Why did Brahmadeva have to forego it and live with only 4 heads? What are the 4 heads symbolic of? And why is the fifth head then a mere continuity of it? But why was he not given the right to hold that head? Why? What does that mean? So now if most of you must by now have gone through most of my videos, and what I summarize and talk about in these videos about procedural collapse. In the last few videos I have tried to position on how Ma Adya works, Adi Shakti, Ma Adya Kali works, and how she generally is very picky about whom she lets propagate about her own Vidya, who is allowed to talk about her, who is allowed to go in her path, who she allows to be known for her name. All this, she's very, very, very picky about it. Sampurna Bhakti to such an extent that you cannot have a parallel, you cannot have a comparison at all on of what Sampurna Bhakti is. She should be like, you might be the Ashtasiddhi, like the last video I spoke about, you might hold the Ashtasiddhi Navanidhis, and you might be the greatest Vedic Guru itself. However, it is she that decides whether you will be known for her name. So when in the last video, like I spoke about how Mata Sita sat under the tree, and Hanumanji very easily could have rescued her from there. However, she did not give him that opportunity, which is projected in such a way that it is the honor of Sri Rama. But not just that, there is another meaning, a hidden meaning in it, wherein she says that my Bhakta, in your name is Sri Rama's name, Hanuman, in your tongue there is Sri Rama's name. Even after coming here, you didn't recognize me. I also don't recognize you because I need to see the ring of Sri Rama. However, to him, 24/7 he is in my thought. Every pore in his body is paining him for me, hurts for me, to bring me back home. So which means she projects it in such a way that you go back, I will come back with my Bhakta. She says, I will come back with my Bhakta. That is Sri Rama. Now, as I went deeper and deeper into this subject, I began to realize that when coming back to Brahma's topic itself, we go deeper into the specific historical mentioning that has been projected onto the rishis' minds, and they have jotted it down so beautifully, where it says that Brahma, who was always holding the 4 heads, who was always in competition with Mahavishnu in various debates and all that, he when it comes to the Shakti path itself, he is considered almost equal. Maheshwara, Mahavishnu and Brahma are given equal space in the Shakti path. And there is incidents wherein in the Shiva Purana itself, where he gets into competition with Mahavishnu also. However, when it comes to the 5th head of Brahma, assuming that the first four heads have been equalized with the four Vedas, and Brahma has been credited even by Shri Krishna itself as the creator of the Vedic path, the Vedic knowledge and the path of the Vedas, the creator of the Vedas itself, why was the fifth head, which is also, when the four heads are Vedas, the fifth head is clearly a Veda. It is also a Veda. It is a fifth Veda. How come when the first four Vedas were allowed for Brahma to hold it on his head itself, why was the fifth one alone removed? Now we go deeper into what the fifth Veda itself was, the fifth head was. So this is before the Satyugas and all, and this is even before the creation of Mrityu-loka itself. It is that ancient, okay? It is at that time. So when we go to the origin, we tend to look at it as the origin of Bhairava itself. Now, however, we now look at it from the angle of Brahma, who is known to hold the four heads and the fifth head that was cut off by Bhairava. We know this historical event. However, why was this fifth Veda or the fifth head alone removed? Can we merely say that Brahma becomes disillusioned and he loses control on himself and he becomes egoistic, and just to put him in his place, the fifth head was removed? However, historically there is enough and more evidence that Brahma still in many ways had not had control of himself. Many ways he had allowed desire to be the cause for his downfall, cause for his problems. That most of the problems or most of the boons that he has given is merely out of desires and being easily pleased by many of the tapasvis. So how do we say that the fifth head alone he was not allowed to have? So what was the fifth head? We go deeper into, from the angle of Brahma, we go deeper into the fifth head now, and how that perfectly embodies procedural collapse, and how procedural collapse is what is the fifth Veda itself, and why the fifth Veda cannot be embodied or attained in the path of Brahma. So the entire sum total of the four Vedas that Brahma holds are the four heads. It has every branch of knowledge that you will ever need. It will have the Smritis, it will have the Vyakarnas, it will have the Agamas, it will have everything. How to build a temple, how to perform a ritual, how to offer samagri into the homam, what is the specific mantra for which deity, how to call upon which deity, how to call upon, how to take care of nature, how to take care of body, how to take care of everything. Everything is there in the Vedic path. So the niyamas of the Mrityu-loka, the way the Mrityu-loka was created and how it has to be lived in is embodied in the four Vedas. It has everything within it. However, when the fifth Veda begins to pop up and Brahma comes to a point where he has now attained this four Vedas and he is now the master of it, and he is now getting into the fifth head, it begins to pop up. That moment itself, he begins to lose control on himself. His identity with Brahma, the name Brahma, and lesser with the Jiva that is within, the para Brahma Jiva that is within him, becomes smaller, and Brahma becomes bigger. So the fifth head, as per the historical text, that the fact that he was able to go out to Mahadeva and insult him and challenge him, it is said that the fifth head was under the control of Yoga Maya. Now, who is Yoga Maya and why did she do that? Again, we come back to the reality of the story and we go deeper into it and realize that Yoga Maya, that is ADYA. Yoga Maya is the name of Ma Adi Shakti. So, is the fifth head, the fifth Veda, none other than ADYA? Is the fifth head, the final head that Brahma was not allowed to maintain, is it Ma ADYA? Is it the knowledge, the final knowledge of the primordial, supreme Mother Goddess? Is that the fifth and final Veda? Now, might be a little too much for us to think right now. Let's go deeper. What is Bhairava known for? Bhairava is known as the pedestal that holds Shakti, right? If it Ma Kamakhya, he is known as the whole mountain that holds the cave that is Ma Kamakhya. If it is Ma Adya, then he becomes the pedestal and by himself in his Para Brahma Rupam lies down and allows Ma Kali to stand on her. Mahakala Bhairava is the pedestal, which in other meaning simply means that he is the Adhara that holds the Shakti. So when Brahma, who did not hold that Bhairava Tattva, the Shiva Tattva within him, he thought that he was the Shiva Tattva. That is why he says, hey Mahadeva, I am equal to you. Now that I have the fifth head, I am equal to you. However, he was not, because he lacked the Shiva Tattva within him. There was no Shiva Tattva within him. He lacked it. So, the crux that is Bhairava, that embodies Shakti, that gives sadhakas like you and me the ability to embody Shakti and hold her within, because Shakti is a moving energy. Shakti is continuously creating, it never stays in a place. So unless you have the Shiva Tattva within you, that is Bhairava Tattva within you, it will not, you will never be able to go higher in the sadhana of any of the female divine feminine forms. Forget Ma Kali being the highest. You will not even be able to get into the most simple a temple, a deity in your local village, a feminine form. You will not be able to hold her. You will think that, oh, I don't want to go after a female feminine form. There have been people who have told me this. I'm not interested in the sadhana of a female deity. It is because they lack Shiva Tattva itself. You are not even started on the path of the Bhairava sadhana. You are not even started on the path of Shiva Tattva itself. You have not even begun to embody the Shiva Tattva. You will look for Devi in human beings. You will be more attracted to the feminine human and not the feminine deity. I don't sit and correct all that. When even I am telling you gurus, there are gurus who have told me that, oh, I am not interested in going after a female form. Why? Because they lack the Shiva Tattva. Now coming to Brahma, who just like you and me, he embodies everything that he is. In the Devaloka, he is like you and me. Complete desires, it is all boiling within. Samudra Manthan is continuously happening within Brahma also. However, when he finally attains the fifth head, just like Shakti cannot be retained without the Shiva Tattva, he loses it. How does he lose it? The fifth head is was under the influence of Yoga Maya, that is none other than the Adi Shakti, that is Ma Adya Kali. The Yoga Maya is Adya Kali, Adya. Okay? So upon realization that Brahma does not hold the Shiva Tattva, the Yoga Maya is no longer willing to stay there. He loses control. And Brahma at this point says that Shiva Tattva need not be required to hold Shakti. Brahma Tattva itself is sufficient to hold Shakti. So when the fifth head comes up, which is the final Veda itself, the final and the most powerful branch of knowledge after everything, how to build a temple, how to be ritualistic, what are the songs, how do you move, what is the kind of rituals that you maintain, which direction do you face, everything is there in the Vedas, including the Ayurveda, how to take care of health, how to take care of your hair, everything is there. Tip to tip is there in the fourth Veda. He has attained it, Brahma has attained it. Now you and me are Brahma. However, listen very carefully, at this moment, I am Brahma, now I think, I don't even need Shiva, I know everything. I will call upon the Adya, which is the fifth head. The fifth Veda is the branch of knowledge that is the Shakti itself. The final branch of knowledge. The fifth Veda is Shakti path itself. And it is Yoga Maya who plays the trick where this fifth head that Brahma now attains but does not have the Adhara to retain, start mouthing. It is the fifth head, that highest branch of knowledge, that starts mouthing on Brahma and talks in a very challenging manner to Mahadeva and tells him, hey Shiva, I also have 5 heads. I have 5 heads here represent not 5 heads. It means I hold within me the 5 Vedas and I am highly enlightened. I am equal to you. Mahadeva, within whom is the Adi Shakti itself, at this moment does not take that lightly. He realizes that Brahma, who thinks he is enlightened, has completely lost the way. So which means that as you go higher and higher in your sadhana and you come to a point where now you embody the 4 Vedas within you as a human being walking around on Mrittiloka, you and me. If at one point we think that the Brahma design, that is our body, is sufficient to hold the Shakti, that is Ma Adya, without building the Shiva Tattva within, we will not go higher. Plain and simple message. The fifth head represents the fifth Veda. And the fifth Veda, for you to hold it, you need to have the Shiva Tattva, the Bhairava Tattva within you. So what does Shiva do? We are aware of this part of it. From his third eye bursts out the Guru Tattva, the one that is going to teach the path to Shakti. What is Bhairava known for? Is he known for teaching the Vedas? Is he known for teaching what is already taught? Is he going by the regular paths? Did you all hear his name in a regular path? Didn't you all sit and hear his name out of YouTube podcast, which is not the regular path? The person who actually sat in the podcast and spoke about him, he didn't come out of the regular paths. He came out of procedural collapse. The person from whose mouth you all heard the name Bhairava did not come out of the regular paths because he embodies the procedural collapse, that is required to move in that path. So, as you go in the path of Brahma, the Vedic paths, you go as per Sampradaya, you have to be born into the specific caste, you have to be born into the specific arrangement, you have to be born into the specific household, you have to be the Raja, you have to be the politician, you have to be the Mantri's son, you have to be the son of the priest. Only then you will get the knowledge. You might be the Ashtasiddhi Navanidhi holding Hanuman also, but when the fifth Veda is the final Veda, that is the Adya itself, you have to embody the Shiva Tattva within you. You have to become, walk and breathe as the Bhairava itself, as Shiva itself. Only then you can embody her. So, Brahma, though he beautifully summates the 4 Vedas within himself, he is not allowed to keep the 5th Veda. Shiva, who holds that Shakti within him, who is one with Adya, Shiva and Adya are one and the same. He decides that no, 4 Vedas, you teach everything. However, when it comes to the 5th Veda, I will come out. And who he sends out? Bhairava. Bhairava walks up to him, immediately decapitates the 5th head clean. He does not remove the other heads because the other heads are Brahma's designs only. They have to be taught by Brahma. However, Brahma Tattva, the Brahma Tattva will not be able to retain Adya or Shakti. Shakti can only be retained by Shiva Tattva, Bhairava Tattva. Shakti is one with Shiva Tattva. She is not separate from it. He decapitates it, goes around with that 5th Veda itself in hand as a begging bowl for 12 years. 12 astral years is the cycle of the Brahaspati. He becomes the guru of the 5th head. Bhairava now becomes the guru of the 5th head of Brahma. Listen carefully here, the answer is there. Why the 5th Veda cannot be attained by the path of Brahma, it can only be attained by the path of Bhairava? The answer is here. He has the 5th head in his hand. The one in that, the Kapala that he holds in his hand holds the knowledge of the 5th Veda, which is the path to Madhya. Everything else, Shakti Pidhas, by the beheading or the Bali of Daksha, the Shakti Pidhas are set, all the branches of knowledge are given, Mahavidya sadhanas are given, everything. But however, the final path of Ma Adya Kali, the final Adya form, can only and only be attained by the path of Bhairava. Just like any Shakti path, he is the Guru. And he holds the 5th head. Brahma no longer. So where is Brahma's head now? We always tend to think that the moment Brahma's head is cut off, it fell off and it's over. Bhairava did the penance and now he is fine. He went and sat down as one of the deities who was simply angry with Brahma. Why will he be angry with Brahma? There is no anger in Bhairava. Bhairava is a cool energy. He is extremely cool. He is not bursting to kill out people. No. He's already sat down. He's in the deepest state of tapasya. He's like Sri Rama to Masita. Masita is the Adya. And Bhairava is like Sri Rama is extremely calm. He removes fear. He removes complete fear from the designs of Brahma itself. The final path to Ma Adya or to Shakti, that is the 5th head, the 5th Veda. The guru of that path is Bhairava, and it will be embodied with procedural collapse, because procedure is the 4 Vedas. You have to go, if you want to go procedurally, then you have to go by the 4 Vedas. It will be Vedic path. Brahma is credited with a projection of this by smritis, by carvings on the temple walls, by dialogues that were between various deities that was projected onto rishis and munis, and they wrote down, and as a sum total collective being, you could call them the Veda Vyasa. It is said that Veda Vyasa might not just be one person, but a collective set of people, collective set of rishis who continued that work. Veda Vyasa is called as a collective consciousness itself, and may not be one person, which means if Veda Vyasa is not one person, and if it's a collective set of people, they are all immortal and still around. Because Veda Vyasa is immortal, he is a Chiranjeevi. So if Veda Vyasa is a collective set of rishis, they are all around. Their thoughts are still flowing. Now, the 4 Vedas have been given. Path to them is Vedic, which means by birth you have to be in some sampradaya, you have to be specifically born into some specific caste. Only then you will be able to go in those Vedic paths. However, the 5th Veda, when it came out, it plucked itself. It was plucked out of Brahma's design. He said, no, Fifth Veda that embodies the Yoga Maya, who is the one who makes the fifth head talk itself, that path you will not give Brahma, that path I will give. 4 Vedas, you are the progenitor, you are the one who is credited with it, you will do it, you will set the path, you will set the temples, you will set the ways of it. However, the fifth Veda will begin to show itself towards after the first golden period that Sri Krishna says 10,000 years is the golden period and 5,000 is the most potent in Kali Yuga. The fifth Veda begins to peak out after the 5,000 years. So why is Bhairava sadhana suddenly bursting everywhere? Because procedural collapse has set in. How many temples are being run purely? How many temples have their own native breeds of cows through which they take the milk and make the ghee by themselves? How many temples have it? Are we not hearing results? Are we not hearing news of prasadams itself being polluted in the greatest temples? We are all aware of it. So the fifth Veda has now begun to peak out, and that will be embodied by procedural collapse. It has been removed by the designs of Brahma, because if the temple itself is being corrupted, the knowledge of the fifth Veda cannot be given there. Because if the fifth Veda, the knowledge of the fifth Veda was also kept within these designs, like the 4 Vedas were given out by great Rishi Munis and their sampradayas, their lineages, the fifth Veda will be kept hidden from you and me. It will not be given to the mass and the class of people who are not meant for it. It will be kept away from them. So, the fifth head is brutally cut off from Brahma, saying, you go by all the 4 Vedas, you do it and set everything up. But however, after the people have done all that, after the jivas that are born on Mrithiloka are done with all that, they will come back within procedural collapse, and then out of nowhere, through the Vayu, through the Prakriti, emanates the greatest Guru, Bhairava. And he holds, what does he hold in his hand? Come back to it. It is not just a mere begging bowl. The begging bowl that Bhairava holds in his hand is the fifth head of Brahma itself, which is none other than the fifth Veda. Think of this for a second. What does that even mean? When all 4 heads are called as 4 heads of Brahma or 4 Vedas, then what is the fifth head? Now, when I say Bhairava is the Guru of Tantra, I always call Bhairava the Guru of Tantra, Bhairava the Guru of the Shakti path. Bhairava is the Guru not just of these two, is also the Guru of the fifth Vedic path, which will not be a Vedic path. It will be the path of Bhairava. The Guru of the fifth Veda is Bhairava himself. The Guru of the fifth Veda is Mahadeva's Guru Tattva, that is Bhairava. And the path will embody ADYA, the Adi Shakti. Most of what I have been talking in my videos, I do not read spiritual books, nor do I watch spiritual content that will give me a lot of knowledge and all. I pick up clues here and there. Let me tell you how. When you sneeze, the viruses and germs that come out of your simple sneeze can infect people in a 6 feet radius or even 10 feet radius for 15-20 minutes. That means Prakriti has the ability to hold what comes from you, within you, hold it and spread it onto other people, right? Similarly, when you scream somebody's name who's standing quite far off, Prakriti sends that signal, that sound signal. It cannot be seen. Neither can the sneeze be seen, nor can the viruses within the sneeze cannot be seen, but it can spread for 10 feet. Similarly, the sound that you have emanated is traveling at a few hundred miles per hour. It will hit those ears that have the ability to take it. However, nobody can see it. If you do not have ears, if your ears are not functional, you will not be able to hear it. Similarly, the air that this infected person who is holding the influenza virus within, he now breathes it and sends it out. How can it not be changed? How can its chemistry not be changed? Just like that, the greatest rishis and munis and their thought processes, their collective consciousness is still around. It is still there in the Prakriti. And the fifth Veda will come out through the Prakriti. You will get your messages from the trees, you will get your messages from the bees, you will get your messages from the crickets, you will get your messages from the frogs, you will get your messages from the leaves, you will get your message from the cloud formations, you will get your message from the mud, you will get your message from the cry of a cow, you will get your message from the howling of a dog, you will get your messages from the cries of a bat. The fifth Veda is still being dissipated by he, just like you cannot hear the sound if you do not have ears. Similarly, he whose jiva has begun to open up a little bit, that is there in the air. Bhairava is Prakriti itself. Bhairava is part of the Prakriti, he is part of the nature. So how is fifth Veda going to be dissipated? How is it going to be distributed? It will be distributed to him who is on the right path, who has attained the knowledges of the four Vedas in previous births and has come and embodied procedural collapse. Because if you are in the specific path, that is why I said in one of previous videos, if you are born into a specific setup where you are known that you will definitely go in these paths, you will not be very well known for Bhairava. Because Bhairava is removed the fifth head from Brahma. So if you are well known to be in that specific kula or sampradaya or specific birth designs, caste, religion, whatever, and you're known that you will go into this, then he will not give you this, because even Brahma was not allowed to have the fifth Veda on his head. He was removed and Bhairava took control of the fifth Veda. Why? Because the fifth Veda is the path to ADYA. The fifth Veda is the final path that tells you the Shakti path itself. It is the ability for you to be and embody Bhairava in totality. It is your ability to hold Shakti, like living, breathing Bhairava. You will be able to attain her. You will be able to keep ADYA within you. And what are you then? You are extremely dangerous to the people who are walking around in living in adharma. So you will be secluded. So he who has attained the knowledge of the fifth Veda, which is held in the hands of Bhairava. Can you tell me that the fifth head is not in the hand of Bhairava? The fifth head is in the hand of Bhairava, which means he holds the fifth head in his fifth Veda in his hand. The other four heads being the other Vedas. So if Bhairava holds the fifth head, the knowledge for the fifth Veda is also within Bhairava. If the knowledge of the fifth Veda is within Bhairava, and Bhairava is known to bring Shakti, and when Brahma was, the fifth head was speaking also, it is the Yoga Maya who played the trick on his fifth head. Which means fifth head or the fifth Veda is completely the Shakti path itself. And not the one that is being sold left and right. It is the actual knowledge of ADYA. That is the fifth Veda. Embodying Bhairava within. You need to embody Bhairava within because he holds in his hand. The fifth head of Brahma is not one of his heads. He holds it in his hand. What you hold in hand? What you have already attained. When you become Bhairava, you live, breathe and walk as Bhairava. You have the Adhara to seat her within you. ADYA, in whichever be the form that she decides, most likely it will be the ADYA Kali. Until then you will be running around here and there to Shakti Pitas, you will run around to taking Dikshas from all the Mahavidyas. It's all fine, finish it off. But when finally Bhairava gives the Brahma's fifth head in your hand and you hold it, then you are the master of the fifth Veda. To embody Bhairava within you means to embody the fifth Veda, to own the fifth Veda within you. That even Brahma was not allowed to keep. Because Bhairava said, the moment Yoga Maya, the Adya Shakti slightly gave you the hint of the fifth head itself, you started walking around, because Brahma Tattva is full of arrogance and desire because it is a creator. It needs more money. It will create more palaces, it will create more sampradayas, it will create more humans, it will create more worlds. So the moment, you will not sit down calmly. You will not sit down and meditate on the fifth Veda. No, what you did, you will immediately run towards Mahadeva and start fighting with him. Saying, I am bigger than you, give me this space. Get out, get out, get out Mahadeva, get out and give me this space. That is Brahma's design talking. So Mahadeva says, see, Shakti is within me. I am Shakti. ADYA, the Adi Shakti, and me are one and the same. So I am well aware of how to live with complete embodiment of Shakti within me. However, you, when the moment you got the glimpse of that Shakti itself, you started shaking. You're losing control. I'll do one thing. This part of the Veda, the four Vedas you release, You do it. You establish it on all over every universe there is. Let Brahma, the deity by the name Brahma, establish the 4 Vedas in every creation of universe, in multiple universes. You do it. However, in every universe, the 5th Veda, that is the 5th head, that knowledge will be given by me itself in my most core Guru Tattva form, that is Bhairava. So Bhairava holds the 5th Veda in his hand. What do you hold in hand? When you say that you grabbed a promotion, what does that mean? You hold the promotion in your hand, you attained it, you are the master of it. It is not your master that it sits on your head. It doesn't become one more head that you walk around like a medal that you're not posting here. The 5th head of Bhairava is not the master of Bhairava itself. Whereas the other 4 heads, the 4 Vedas, are the master of Brahma itself, that he holds it as a head itself. A whole head is dedicated to it. However, Mahadeva being above everything, the 5th Veda, he very casually holds it as in his hand, Brahma in, and also he gives a credit to Brahma itself, saying that you attained the state of the 5th head, you attained it, so I will hold it as your head itself. However, Brahma, my child, you go and enjoy, continue your life. However, this part alone, which is very dangerous, because if 1 crore people on earth attain the 5th Veda while coming into specific cycles on specific births, they will not allow others to attain it. They will walk around saying, when you can tell me itself that you are bigger than me in foolish way, in a very foolish manner, that means every small people who are so full of desires and arrogance, if they attain the 5th Veda, they will walk around destroying earth. They will all become the most powerful asuras. So any asura that has attained the 5th head will also be taken out, just like Brahma was taken out. As Brahma goes higher and higher and attains the 5th Veda, Bhairava simply takes it out. Says that this form of Bhairava, that is the Guru Bhairava, I now hold your 5th head in my hand. I still give you the credit because I have not put my head or any other form here. I am still holding it as your head. However, Brahma, you are not capable of containing what power it is. Power for me, it is second nature. For me to hold this head within is second nature. I have been doing it for ages and ages and ages before even you were created. Before even anything was created, I have been holding this head. Because Mahadeva, Shiva and Shakti are one. Adya Kali, Adya, the first. What is Adya? The first has always been a part and parcel. They are one and the same with Shiva. So, the Adya form of Ma Kali cannot even be called a divine feminine. It is divine feminine and divine masculine in one. Because Shiva is also within, Shakti is also within. So that is the Adya, the first. So I have always known what this form is. I am well aware of what this form is. So the knowledge for the Veda of it, I hold in my hand. So when you begin to embody Bhairava more and more and more and more, you will find a very fast entry into your life of the primordial Supreme Mother form. However, after learning everything about Bhairava, if you begin to behave like Brahma, your head will be cut off on an Ashtami. On Ashtami, you will lose your head and you will come back to zero. One more life you will have to repeat, and in that life again procedural collapse will embody, and you will actually probably be able to hold the head in your hand. That is the 5th Veda and the path to Ma Adya very well in your life. So we have a revelation. The realization was always there. However, we just needed to correlate it. So just to sum up, 4 heads of Brahma, he still holds it. For him it is the biggest achievement, so he holds it here. 5th head also comes up. However, Yoga Maya plays a trick and makes that 5th head challenge Shiva so that he will react and tell him that the subject that you just learned, I have been knowing for crores of years. Because Ma Adya is within me. Me and Adya are one and the same. We are the same primordial sound. We are the primordial forces of energy. But the moment you touched itself, you lost control. That means, here it also means that the ability to hold the Shakti within, the Adya Shakti within, cannot even be given to somebody like Brahma. You have to embody Bhairava. You have to live, breathe, walk, think, look around, look up, look down, interact like a living, breathing entity, that is Bhairava. You have to be known for your dogs. Who's known for dogs? Bhairava. You should be known for that which is considered as inauspicious. Because even in the inauspicious lies the auspicious. But in Brahma's path, inauspicious is never given any space. So the fifth head that Bhairava holds, he says, to come in this path, Brahma, unfortunately your designs are collapsing. Now, and as we enter the Kali Yuga, your designs itself are becoming a big pain, because like Shri Krishna's 4 arrows, what do they say? Temples will collapse, only the Nama Japa will stand. Mother will destroy the children. The Brahma's design, mother starts destroying the children. The wells that are overflowing will not give a drop of water or wealth or support or emotional or moral support to the one that is starving. The very beautiful singing cuckoo bird is poking and eating the rabbit. If this is the case, Brahma, unfortunately I'll have to come and teach the 5th Veda myself. Because if I give this 5th Veda to that cuckoo that is eating the rabbit, I'm talking from the last episode, last video. Please go back to that last video, I have mentioned this there. If Brahma, if the cuckoo bird that is eating the rabbit, if I give the 5th Veda to that one, what will happen? If the mother that is embodying and destroying its own children, how will I give the knowledge to that? The example of the cow and the calf. How can I give the 5th Veda to such a person, such a realized person? No. The wells that are overflowing and will not give a drop to drink to the well that is starving, how can I give the 5th Veda to such a person? Even though they are well capable and come to the highest states of life, that is why they are overflowing with wealth. However, they are not capable of holding the 5th Veda. The temples and everything that is fully built on ego and arrogance, and only Nama Japa will save you, and I myself have declared it. Then how can I give these paths that are full of arrogance the 5th Veda? So Brahma, my dearest Brahma, my child, I now take away your 5th head and hold that head, honoring you itself or your efforts. I hold your head in my hand. So the right way to represent Bhairava, it should not be a bowl in the hand, it should actually be Brahma's upward tilted head. The Kapala should be a head of Brahma. They should actually represent a head there. Because Bhairava honors Brahma and says that, you, my child, who's just attained the state of oneness with the 5th head, that is the 5th Veda, who could not contain it. The moment you saw it, you thought that you are the greatest. Whereas I, for crores and crores and crores and crores of years, have been one with the 5th head, that is the Adya. That is the knowledge of the Adya, the primordial force behind all the Shakti Pithas, the primordial force behind the creation itself, behind the formation of my own form, that is Maheshwara. It is the formation of Mahavishnu and yourself. The moment you touched there, you lost control of yourself and you became an Asura yourself and started coming towards me. So Brahma, giving you the respects, I take your head and I will use it as a begging bowl. I will walk around for 12 full years. That is a cycle. You need to complete 12 years of sadhana in a specific path. Then only you can attain the state of a guru, because one full solar cycle you need to complete, right? He also completes. Bhairava also does the tapasya for 12 years, holding that knowledge, that 5th Veda in his hand as a begging bowl. He walks around eating out of it, sleeping out of it, and consuming him and living out of it. He gains the complete tattva of the 5th head. He gains complete embodiment of the 5th head. He becomes the 5th head and he sits down in Kashi. Now you would think Kashi is the physical place. Kashi is a state of being at one with Bhairava. When you enter the state of Kashi, you are in Kashi, even if you are in Chennai, even if you are in Australia, even if you are in Dubai, even if you are in USA, even if you are in Canada. If you enter the state of Kashi, you are one with Bhairava. So he still honors Brahma's 5th head. He holds as the Kapala, and he says, this Veda alone, the moment it is so powerful, it is so potent, the moment it touches on somebody, it will drive them a little mad. It will first bring out the Asuric side. So it can only go to somebody who has conquered the Asuric side in the Samudra Manthan. I have spoken about this in another video on the path to Bhairava to Shiva. I have spoken about this in another video. Samudra Manthan, he who conquers it correctly. Brahma, you have not conquered it. The moment the 5th head touched your head, It sat on your shoulder. You thought you are the greatest. You started fighting with everybody. That means you are not understood Brahma. Not understood the path. He still treats Brahma itself as a child and takes his head and becomes the guru of the fifth Veda. So Bhairava is the guru of Tantra, Bhairava is the guru of the fifth Veda, Bhairava is the guru of Brahma, Bhairava is the guru of the state of Kashi, Bhairava is the guru of the path to Shakti, and which is the ultimate form of Ma Adya is that form in which you cannot even envision with a sari, because she's Digambara. Even the 8 directions of the sky cannot embody and give her a dress that you can visualize. So her dress itself is the Ambara. She wears the karma itself, the hands that represent the karma she wears as a skirt. The skull around her is the embodiment of you, me, every living being and every jiva that embodies her. This one. She holds the prana of the sadhaka into the Kapala. I hope you are now understanding the reference. That is the fifth Veda. So, the fifth Veda summarizes Brahma's fifth head, and you putting your prana into the fifth head and attaining the knowledge of the fifth Veda. This is what it is all about. This is the path of Bhairava, and this is the path of Ma Adya. You will not come out of the regular paths, because a regular path is Brahma's path. You will not come out of the regular sampradayas, because regular sampradayas is the Brahma's path. Every temple, manuscripts, scriptures, writing, poems, poetries, everything is from Brahma. However, the fifth head alone was removed from Brahma and held back by Mahadeva himself in the form of Bhairava. And the architect, just like Kamadhenu got kidnapped by the kings and Parashurama, the silent monk, became a bloodthirsty warrior. Just like Ma Sita was plucked away and Sri Rama became a warrior and destroyed Ravana, who for few thousands of years has been terrorizing kings and queens and prajas and asuras also. He was terrorizing Devaloka also. She got herself victimized and made the Leela happen. Just like that, here also the fifth head walks straight up to Mahadeva and starts insulting him. The moment Brahma touches on that higher level of knowledge, he becomes arrogant. There which it is Yoga Maya's architecture that creates Bhairava, who holds Brahma's fifth head itself and says, this one I'll take care. Other 4 heads you keep. Because if you itself cannot contain the Shakti that is within this one, that is the Yoga Maya, that is the Adya within. The knowledge of the Shakti itself is within the fifth Veda. How to attain Shakti, live, breathe and walk as Brahma itself is there in the fifth Veda. The greatest of the great Shakti, Adya, the primordial supreme mother is there in this. The moment you touched it, you went a little crazy. Don't worry, my child. I will keep this and I will teach this. You continue your life. So the destruction of Brahma's fifth head is not merely an Asuric cutting of head. It is the teaching moment of Bhairava to Brahma itself and telling him that you still hold the head. Bhairava says, it is still your head only. Don't worry. I'm not going to take away your honor. I'm not going to take you and destroy your name everywhere on earth. Nothing like that. It is still your head. However, I hold it for you so that you do not go around doing after destruction, and I will tell the path to the people for this. So you heard Bhairava's name in a procedural collapse, you heard it through YouTube, you heard it through traditional paths, because Bhairava will break down the other paths, because when the 4 heads and the fifth become one, on a single head you become and do what Brahma did. You try to fight with Mahadeva itself, you try to get into a war with Mahadeva itself. Mahadeva, in a second he can destroy all 5 heads and finish off Brahma. However, he did not, because he knows that this person is just losing control, because this fifth head, that is the greatest Shakti, that is the greatest Veda, he is not able to contain. So this love and compassion he shows onto Brahma itself and says, in your name itself I will show this path. So Bhairava path is still within the design of Brahma. That is why he still holds the head of Brahma only as the begging bowl, and not that he creates a separate branch of knowledge. No, he creates he walks around the Mrityuloka, realizes, understands complete control on what all to be separated from this path, what all to be put into this bowl, and then he gives the fifth path. And this fifth path comes from the Prakriti. It cannot be attained by any person who simply because you know somebody. I see even gurus sitting and buttering up other gurus in Facebook posts and all that. I can't do all that, because when Bhairava is the guru, He will not allow Brahma's design. It is still within Brahma's design, but the teacher is Bhairava. That is the difference. 4 Vedas, teacher is Brahma. 5th Veda, teacher is Bhairava. Plain and simple. But the design is still in the Mrityuloka only. So it's Brahma's head, in Bhairava's hand. Knowledge comes from Bhairava. So that is the 5th Veda. Most of the knowledge that I have myself incurred, I have not read anywhere. It comes just like that. Deeper states of meditation will give you extremely deep knowledge. Protect your aura, protect yourself from people who are full of that Brahma's design. You won't believe there are some students who came up to me, and the moment I say that I think your sadhana is not right, they will immediately start insulting me. It has happened in my life. Some people have come to me asking for knowledge, and they're not able to progress in their sadhana, and I was talking to them, and I think your sadhana is extremely weak. I said this, like cutting off the head. They immediately said, who are you to say this? You're a close-minded guy you are. What rights you have to say this? You're a Rakshas, and all they've told me itself. So, many of you are contacting me, please understand that if I have to guide you, it will not be a very straightforward path. I will first break you and check you whether you can hold the 5th head. That is the embodiment of Bhairava. Bhairava will check whether you are eligible for it. One of the core eligibilities is that you should unlearn whatever is the 4 other Vedas and relearn the 5th Veda, the path of Bhairava, where the most inauspicious holds the auspicious, the path of the dog. The path of the dog. Will anybody be willing to live and breathe and walk like a dog? I have 8 dogs. I am known for my dogs all over India. I am the biggest name by the grace of Bhairava in the native breed, the white breed called the Rajapalayam. So, I walked that path. And let me tell you, it is not easy. To live and breathe like a dog is not easy. I am not asking you to eat out of a dog kibble. I am not asking you to eat like a dog. There are other branches of knowledge within the dog. So, Brahma's 4 Vedas held with as his head, grandeur, glory, everything is there. However, when it comes to Bhairava, he holds the head in his hand and says, my Vahana is a mere dog. And lose all your ego and come into this path. Then I will tell you how to fill this path and attain oneness with Ma Adya Shakti, Ma Adya Kali. Until then you will say that my form is this, my favorite form is her. But the moment Bhairava embodies you, Bhairava sits within you, you will be only able to see one form of divine feminine who embodies Shiva also within her, that is Mahadhya. That is the path to Mahadhya. You have to embody Sri Rama, you have to embody Bhairava Tattva, the Shiva Tattva, which Brahma did not embody. Brahma said, I will embody the Brahma Tattva itself within me and still hold the 5th head. You cannot hold Shakti if you do not have Shiva Tattva. Shiva and Shakti are same. So to hold the Shakti within, that is the 5th Veda, you will have to embody Bhairava and become Bhairava. Walk and breathe as Bhairava. Walk and breathe, think, everything is Bhairava. You have to, for that, this is your karma for which you are born, you have to accelerate towards it, burn, become equal. The moment you are above, okay, till you are here, you are a slave to Prakriti, which is keeping you a slave so that you finish your karma. The moment you come here, you are equal to the Prakriti, and once you are above it, Prakriti opens itself and the branches of knowledge that are being shared through thoughts, by the falling of a specific leaf in a specific manner, the design of certain leaves that form a specific form, mantras that are shown on the leaves, all this will start to open up because Prakriti is now accepted you as its master. That is the 5th Veda. That is the 5th head of Brahma, which even Brahma was not allowed to keep. So you have to break down. Procedure has to collapse. The procedure has to break down completely. The 5th head cannot be kept with the 4th head. It has to be kept in the hands of Bhairava only. So I wanted to put another, there was a separate video that I wanted to make. You won't even believe, on Ashtami I was planning to, and doing a bit of a research on another video. My face, this lips, the face and all, enlarged to such an extent, my whole hands started, I couldn't even move my hands. I don't even know what happened. It became so difficult that I could no longer even think of putting that video. However, from yesterday evening, all over my head, this video is sitting on my head. It is just bang, 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 bang on my head. And everything cleared up. Just like that, in hours. For 24 hours I was suffering. Just like that, everything cleared up. And now I'm absolutely fine, and I'm just enjoying this thought. And I did not write any points. I did not note this anywhere. I'm just It is always there within me, and it's time for me to reveal it. The fifth head of Brahma, the fifth Veda is in the hands of Bhairava. And it cannot be attained if you come in the regular path. You have to break it. You have to end the body. You have to come out of that body which has been in the path of the four Vedas, procedural collapse, like the Brahma's fifth head was separated from his body. Your Jiva will have to separate from the Vedas and then attain the fifth Veda. That is in Bhairava's hands. And what is the fifth Veda? It is the knowledge of the primordial mother. That is the final state. There is nothing beyond it. Many of you have completed the Anushtana that I had given on Swarnakarshana Bhairava, and you're asking me what is next. What is next is you should allow him to talk to you. I have given you the medicine, it has to cure you. You're continuously asking me what is next. Stop asking me, stop looking at me for the next. Go within yourself. Bhairava will talk to you. You have to bring him within you. You're asking me what is next. I feel so sad. Somebody is mailing me and asking, when can I get the Bija Mantra? What? It is not 11th standard to 12th standard to college. It's not like that. You need to finish off 11th standard first. So, of course, some of you are able to take this directly from me. So, I've given Swarnakarshana Bhairava Sadhana to people I've met in person also. And their life is completely changing because he is throwing unfulfilled desires onto them. They thought that they no longer needed the gym, but they are going. They thought that they are no longer in connection with a specific addictive hobby they had. No. He said it is still there. Go. Finish it. Enjoy it. Live life like the king. Don't pretend, sit under a tree and pretend to have conquered it. Conquer it. That is why you have the body. Conquer your desires. Everything, small desire also, stop pretending. Stop pretending and telling yourself that I am divine, I am embodiment of Bhairava, so I can now sit under this tree without any desires. That state will come. That state will come when you will not, there is no travel in my life. Even now when I think that I have to go to a specific temple, I finished for example, I'll tell you a story where I finished an Anushtana of Ma Dakshin Kali, and from then she has been sending people from Dakshineshwar, that area, they keep sending the photo of her, this one, they keep talking about her. So she keeps on calling, but I tell her just one thing, see, I've lived out my life in Dakshineshwar. I've lived there and finished off my life there. Now why are you calling me again? You come here, to me, here. In this Vigraha, if I've invoked you in one of the limbs, so you sit here with me. So the desire to travel itself is completely gone. It's very difficult to move me now because there's only one movement, and it is to finish off the purpose and get out. Plain and simple. So stop. If you have an urge to travel on a trip and you think that because you are in sadhana you should not do that, please assure you, you have to do it. That is why Sri Vatuka Swarnakarshana Bhairava is the most beautiful embodiment of breakdown of Brahma's design path, which could bring you back again and again. I spoke to somebody whose grandfather had wished onto them that I hope you become XXX. So the grandfather has given the wish onto this child, and now the child should either achieve it or die trying for it. If not, the child will take birth again to again fulfill, not just that, even any child born out of that bloodline also will have to finish off that wishes and desires. So that is why I say Vatuka Swarnakarshana Bhairava video I have given. It is a secret tantric ritual to burn down desires within your blood. Finish it off. Don't wait for the next mantra. Do it for 2 years. Who stopped you? Do it for 2 full years. The ability to sit down in one specific asana and finish off your sadhana is given by the deities only. So please understand that if your asana is moving, you are a rare case. The deity is talking to you and giving you certain hints. However, if you talk to me and tell you, if I tell you that the asana has to be stable, then it has to be stable. You are unplugging from the Brahma's design and seating yourself onto an asana and talking to Bhairava, who holds the fifth Veda in his hand. So if you say that as per Brahma's design I have this job, and so because of that I am in Jalandhar today and tomorrow I have to be in New Delhi, so I will do in New Delhi, you are actually within the designs of Brahma only. But you have to unplug and sit in this. If this is my asana here, I usually sit here, then I have to sit here, because here in this room I say this room is within the Kapala, the fifth Kapala, the fifth head of Brahma. This is the fifth Veda. This room is within the fifth Veda. And when I sit here, There's only Bhairava here as my Guru and my Ishta, my Adya, who embodies every form of the divine feminine and the divine masculine completely. So I think the video has already gone quite long today. There will be a lot more videos that come up. I've been reading most of your emails, and let me tell you, if I receive 10 emails or 10 messages, out of that or 1 or 2 I can help. Rest, just that even all my hours and hours of talk has not made any impact on them, so there isn't much I can do. Like I said, not everybody has attained the first 4 heads. Only then you can come towards the 5th head that has been decapitated from the designs of Brahma. So you need to finish these. Some of you need to go to the temples that were built as per the designs of Brahma. Some of you needs to go and take birth in the designs, in the specific sampradayas and bloodlines that are designed by Brahma. All this you have to complete. Only then procedure will collapse. Will come out and pluck you from all this and throw you and put you into the 5th Veda that is in the hands of Bhairava. I thank the primordial Supreme Mother, Adya, for allowing me to talk on this subject. I thank my Guru, Sri Mahakala Bhairava, for allowing me the knowledge to talk about this subject. Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Jai Ma Adya.